Hey world, it's your host Marshall, and thanks for tuning into my podcast, Run On Thoughts. Here we talk about everything and nothing because we are not afraid to be all of ourselves even as we evolve. And that's my thought for my fellow thought thinkers as we unpack our traumas, past hurts, and other BS. Y'all ready? Let's go. Hey thought thinkers, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Run On Thoughts. I am excited to be here on this early Sunday morning, and I am even more excited to say Happy Father's Day first to my Father in heaven. I love you. I miss you. And today's episode is inspired by you. Today's episode is two things can be true at the same time. And the reason why this episode is inspired by my father, because so much of my time spent with my father was in unpacking and unlearning behaviors that made my father such a nice man. And I'm not going to be talking about just being nice today, but he was the inspiration because nice is not the same as kind. My father was a people pleaser and he really wanted everyone to be happy because he never wanted anyone to feel as he felt. But the truth is, it is important to understand that just because you want other people to feel good doesn't mean that other people want you to feel good. And we should not be extending ourselves to those who don't mean us no good. But before we get started, I want to stand in a place of gratitude and say thank you for all of the listeners who have been with me on this journey from the very beginning. I want to say thank you for anyone listening for the very first time. And I want to say thank you to all the men in my life who have been there for me in a good way. And even to all the men who I have learned lessons from. Because believe me, the reason why I can stand in a place and not be bitter, it's a good episode, is because I have learned those lessons and I have made them my blessings. With that, I welcome you to go to runONthoughts.com or any streaming service and listen, subscribe, but ultimately, I want you to become a thought thinker. And not just for this family, I want you to become a thoughtful thinker in your own life, because that is what this is about. I want us to understand the paradox between thinking and being a thoughtful thinker, because when you are thoughtful, you are able to take what you need, put on the shelf what you don't need, or give it to someone else who might need it. So with that, let's get started, right? Two things can be true at the same damn time. We're often taught to view life in black and white. That's the problem in the world right now. Because there is something beautiful going on in the middle that doesn't take away from black or white. But black and white are extremes, and there are things in the middle that shape and make our lives beautiful, right? We're often taught to view things in black and white, to silence one side of ourselves in order to align with one single story. But what if you made space for both? And the easy part is that I am talking about two things can be true at one time. But the truth is, many things can be true at one time. We do not have to exist in one box or two boxes. I am many things, and those many things that I am in varying degrees and percentages that I fit into these boxes or circles or squares or triangles is what makes me a unique being. I keep telling you guys, this idea of trying to fit into one box for society's attention and affections and approval is killing you. What if you made space for both? What if you made space for all of the boxes that you fit in? Today, I want to explore how this polarization lives in all of us. I know it's heavy in our doubts and our choices and even in our relationships. I know most of us, including myself, have this internal tug of war. I know. I have also had this internal tug of war when I'm trying to be true to all of who I am. Even for me, a person who stands 10 toes down in who I am, I keep telling you guys, being all of yourself is not easy. Sometimes it is easier, or it feels easier, if I would just obey the one script that society set out for me. But I can't. I know that that is not the truth of who I am. I don't fit into one box. I don't want to fit into one box. But guess what, y'all? We can all learn to hold opposing thoughts and emotions without feeling fragmented or unsure. Because you can be sure about feeling unsure. You can be sure that if it is in you, it is true for you. You are a whole person. You are not fragments of yourself. You are a whole person. And what does it mean to be a whole person? Someone who can appreciate complexity, navigate this paradox, and find peace in honoring all the different parts of yourself. Peace. You know that you're not honoring yourself if you don't have peace. Peace. You guys know that I started off, I lost my mom. I used to stutter heavy. By the time I came to live with my aunt, my stuttering was really bad. I still stutter. When you hear me use words like, it is because I am stuttering. And because of the stuttering, I didn't want to talk or speak out loud. So my aunt put me in speech therapy, and it was in speech therapy that I'm not sure that I learned how to not stutter, but I did learn how to use the thesaurus and find other words. So when I say it's I'm often delaying and streaming my brain looking for another word. But while using the thesaurus, my speech patterns became better. And I was able to, and I began entering storytelling contests around New York City public schools. Nothing crazy, but I enjoyed it. And I recognized that when I performed, I did not stutter. And then, because of this thesaurus, because of having access to all of these words, I became a rapper. I loved writing. I loved rapping. I love these two art forms so much. I began to explore who I am. That is where my sense of self comes from. It is from learning all these words and understanding what these words means and coming to a truth about who I am. But even when I first started rapping, I wasn't that good. My first rap, I think, was called Bang the Drug Effect, because I told you guys that my mother was a drug addict. But then it was there. I heard Eric B. and Rakim. And Rakim did something to me internally that shape shifted who I was. It was in that moment that I recognized, because I saw someone who was doing an art form, and I saw most people do it for fun, and they were witty, and I'm sure they were smart. But when I heard Rakim rap, what I felt was a sense of intellectual artistry. And I felt like I could be both smart and nerdy and a rapper And then this portal just opened up and told me that I could be anything all at the same time. Isn't that crazy? I could be anything all at the same time. I could be smart. I could enjoy books. I could enjoy learning. I could enjoy the thesaurus and the dictionary. I could wonder. I could be a rapper. I could be the girl who dresses funny and wears crazy clothes and crazy hair bows, and I could be those things. And in that moment, I made a decision. I made a decision about who I was going to be and how I was going to be, even against the grain of what others were trying to get me to be, because I know it was from a place of love. They were trying to protect me from being ostracized. But I don't give a damn about being ostracized, because I keep telling you guys that when I look out, because I am a people watcher, but when I look out in the world and all those who are ostracizing, I don't see joy in their eyes. Why do we care about what people think and feel about us when they themselves are not even happy? Why do we care about the opinions of others when they are not happy? Isn't that crazy, guys? These motherfuckers are not even happy. And I want us to be happy. I want us to be whole, like I said, because that is the most important part about duality. It's about understanding that living in your truth, although it will never be easy, it will bring you peace. You ever heard the saying, nothing easy? I don't know what the saying was, guys. I was going somewhere and I think I knew it, but I forgot. I'm sure it'll come back to me. And normally I would have started over or cut this out, but I'm not cutting out shit. I am a human being, and we all flunder and lose our minds and come back to our minds. There's so many similarities about being a human being that that's what makes all of this mess that we're in even more beautiful. Mess. How can we become more comfortable embracing that mess? Right? That messy, rich reality within us. Instead of ignoring and choosing between aspects of ourselves, our doubts and our confidence, our struggles and our progress. How do we honor ourselves that can help us grow, heal, and always become more whole? First of all, guys, you got to name it. You got to name it to get a grasp on it. When you notice conflicting thoughts or emotions, like feeling excited and nervous at the same time, label it. Right? Say to yourself, okay, I'm feeling two things here. Right? The simple act can ease the overwhelming and help you realize it's okay. I am always excited and nervous. I tell you guys that I am afraid of everything, but I have courage. I am always afraid. I don't know why I am always afraid. I'm sure I'm going to have to unpack that, but I am damn near afraid of everything. By existing in space, understanding that I have courage, because there are things that you have to do anyway in order to move forward. In order to move forward, I am afraid of water, but I went on vacation and I am doing all of these water sports. Why? Because even when you are afraid, you must have courage, because you at least need to know if you are really afraid. Or are you simply afraid of the unknown? And I believe that I am afraid of the unknown. Some of my triggers and fears are that I need to control things And the reason I need to control things is because I am afraid of the unknown. I am afraid of what's on the other side. But I try not to let my what's afraid of the other side persona stop me from doing things, because I also recognize that two things can be true at the same time. I do want to know what's on the other side, because what's on the other side might be better for me, might be joy. And also, I am afraid of all things. I have courage and I am nosy. And I believe, guys, that it is in my nosiness that pushes me forward to see what is on the other side. And because I am an observer of people, I recognize that sometimes our fears are clouding our judgment. Because some of these water things that I did, I didn't like them. And I recognize that I don't really like that type of shit. But guess what? Now it's not I'm afraid. I am not telling myself that I am afraid of the thing. I am proud of myself. I have reached a new level. I have scratched something off of a list of fears. I am not afraid of water. I need to tame water, right? I probably should learn how to swim. I don't like boating. I don't like water flying in my face. I don't like catamarans. I don't like sitting on something where I can see the ocean. I don't really like it. But that's okay. It's okay not to like it. But I'm not existing in the understanding that it is only fear. Now it is dislike. And you grow when you tackle your fears, when you tackle the duality of life, you tackle these ideas. That feeling of excitement and nervousness. That's how I used to felt right before I went on stage, whether I was rapping or dancing, right? I'm excited to perform. But this nervousness enters your gut and your stomach. And for some people, that halts them. That nervousness, although they know that they're excited, that nervousness stops them from moving forward. And I am telling you to keep going, go out there. Because as soon as your mind says action, all nervousness disappears. And there's a feeling of euphoria and excitement from the crowd, from performing, from being. It's such a high. But you won't know what's on the other side of this nervousness. And that's the extreme feeling of excitement, or that you love something, or even that you don't love something. But you know, and you are not yielding just to the one side of a thing. You guys, you got to get curious. Some of us are so freaking judgmental that we're not even curious. Some of you are so afraid that you're going to like something that you think you're not supposed to like, that you sit in judgment of others instead of being curious, instead of framing the conflict as a problem to resolve. What is it trying to show me? Because it is curiosity that lets you appreciate the rich information each side holds. These varying degrees and extremes of feelings and ideas. The way we are existing in this world right now, no side is all true. But yet some of you are out there holding fast and firm to shit. All because you have made assumptions about what the other side means. And some of you are just so damn judgmental that you don't even realize that what you are saying is sheer foolishness, and I can tell that you don't even believe it. But because you said it, or because you've joined the side, you don't want to be alienated, or you want to feel like you belong. Belong to what? Belong to people who need to stand 10 toes down in shit? Well, shit stinks. And you begin to lose yourself when you are forced into these boxes or societies or groups that have one way. None of us fit into the one way. But then that's why there is so much fighting, because you are holding fast to the one way, right? Every time you find yourself thinking in black and white terms, reframe either or to both and. Practice adding and, right? I am strong. I am vulnerable. No, I am strong and vulnerable. I care deeply. I need boundaries. No, I care deeply about this person and I need boundaries. We talk about the word no as being a complete sentence. But and is a necessary conjunction. And, woo, practice today. And I am strong and powerful. I am funny and serious. Whatever the dualities of you are, you don't have to choose one. You don't have to choose. I am kind and I will slap the shit out of you. I am loving and I am not so forgiving. I understand the duality of who I am and I allow myself to exist in it. Give each of those ideas that you are feeling a voice. Consider journaling from both sides or perspective, right? For me, I just stand in the mirror and have a conversation with my inner self. And I speak from both sides. That's how I recognize that I am both fearful and I have courage. You see, that and word allows me the space to feel vulnerable. It is the and word. It is in the and word where I feel the most vulnerable, guys, because I am allowing myself to be all of the things, knowing that on the other side of and is usually a victory, right? I am weak and strong. I am good and bad. We are not perfect beings. The goal is to be a balanced being. Appreciate the needs, fears, and desires behind each idea that you are feeling. Exist in all of it. Embrace the paradox, guys. Embrace it. Instead of seeing contradictions or chaos, view it as rich, multi-layered reality. Sometimes, most times, we grow when we learn to be comfortable in the paradox. I see so many people unhappy with every goddamn thing. I see people struggling to figure out who they are because they like this and they also like that. So they're trying to live a life where they're trying to X out not being this so that they could be that, instead of realizing that stop fighting. You are. You are. You are and you are both of those ideas, right? You are both of those ideas. Sit with both of those ideas. Meditate if you have to. Deep breathing if you have to. Talk to yourself in the mirror if you have to. While you're walking around your home cleaning, talk to yourself. Observe these thoughts and ideas without being so hard on yourself, right? Observe these conflicting ideas from a neutral, compassionate place. And that's the thing, guys. You got to be compassionate with yourself. Some of you need to give yourselves a goddamn hug because you're being so hard on yourselves. And some of us are hard on ourselves because others have been hard on us. But in this unpacking, I hope I have told you guys that you got to love yourself. You got to love yourself even in the mess. You got to learn how to celebrate your complexity. You got to remind yourself that you are a multifaceted person. Your ability to hold two truths at once is a sign of maturity, is a sign of depth, is a sign that you are adaptable. You are not weak. You are not existing in confusion. You are being all of yourself. Are you listening to me? There is nothing wrong with you. Stop letting the ways of the world convince you that something is wrong with you when in truth, open your eyes and recognize that something is wrong with the world. So many people are existing in the world and they are not happy. I repeat, they are not happy. You are trying to fit into spaces with people who are not happy, who do not love themselves, who have sold themselves out for power, who have sold themselves out for money, who have sold themselves out because they are cowards and need the power of those in power so that they can now become the very bullies that bullied them, instead of recognizing that there is power. That there is power in being whole. There is power in being yourself all of the damn time. There is power in being a multifaceted person. And that power gives you courage. That power gives you strength. That power allows you to sit in your vulnerability. You are whole. You are worthy because you are here. I'm tired of talking to you guys. Bye.